this video, we're diving into how an LLC protects your personal assets and why understanding that protection is so important. What's going on, everyone? My name is Eric Hunsker, and on this channel, we cut through the fluff to help you make smarter business decisions. So whether you're dreaming of opening a small boutique or already running a growing side hustle, the idea of separating your business from your personal life is probably on your mind. Have you ever wondered what would happen if a customer sued your business or if you couldn't pay back a business loan? Would someone be able to come after your home or savings? Those questions can be scary, but they're also exactly why people form limited liability companies. So by the end of this guide, you'll have a clear picture of what an LLC can shield you from, where the boundaries are, and how you can strengthen that shield. Why limited liability matters. Starting a business often feels like jumping off a cliff without a parachute. You pour your time, money, and heart into an idea and you hope it will fly. But what happens if something goes wrong? A customer trips over a cord and breaks an ankle. A vendor doesn't deliver goods on time and sues you for breach of contract. Or maybe your product causes an injury you never anticipated. When you're operating as a sole proprietor, all of your personal assets, your car, home, and even your retirement savings could be at risk. That's because in the eye of the law, you are the business. There's no line separating your personal money from your company's debts. Forming a limited liability company draws that line. An LLC is a separate legal entity. It can own property, open bank accounts, enter into contracts, and crucially, it can be sued without automatically dragging your personal assets into the fight. When people talk about limited liability, this is what they mean. Your liability for business debts is limited to what you've invested in the company. If the business loses a lawsuit and owes money, creditors can go after the company's assets. Things like inventory, company bank accounts, and equipment. They can't automatically seize your personal savings or force you to sell your house. It's easy to see why this structure is so popular. It offers protection similar to corporation, but without many of the formalities and double taxation that corporations face. That's why LLCs have become the go-to for small businesses across the United States. But the protection isn't absolute, and that's where many entrepreneurs get tripped up. How the LLC Shield works. To understand how an LLC protects you, think of it like a suit of armor for your business. When your company is properly formed and maintained, it stands between your personal life and the business world. If your LLC borrows money, signs a lease, or enters into a contract, the other party is dealing with the company, not you personally. If the company fails to pay or gets sued, the creditor must collect from the company. Your personal bank accounts, car, home, and other assets generally stay off limits. Imagine you operate a small bakery through an LLC. One day, one of your delivery drivers, while delivering bread, rear-ends another car and injures the driver. The injured person sues the bakery. If the lawsuit succeeds, the judgment will be against the LLC, not you personally. The court may order your business to pay damages out of the company's bank account or insurance policy. In most cases, your personal car, savings account, and other personal property remain protected because you didn't personally cause the accident. The employee's negligence is tied to the company's operations. Protection from business debts. Most banks, landlords, and suppliers understand that an LLC limits personal liability. When you apply for a business credit card or lease office space, they typically enter into agreements with the company. Without a personal guarantee, you aren't personally responsible for those debts. If the company can't pay a loan, the lender can seize business assets or sue the company, but they can't automatically take your personal funds. This protection extends to co-owners as well. If your business partner or an employee makes a mistake or commits negligence on the job, the company may be liable, but you don't automatically share personal liability for their actions. That separation is one of the biggest benefits of forming an LLC, especially if you aren't directly controlling every aspect of the business. Where the shield ends. It's important to emphasize that the liability shield only goes so far. An LLC does not protect you from everything. If you personally injure someone, commit fraud, engage in illegal activities, or fail to pay payroll taxes, your personal assets can still be at risk. Courts do not let business structures become tools for wrongdoing. In the bakery example, if you were the driver who caused the accident because you were texting, you could be personally liable for those injuries regardless of the LLC. The same is true if you intentionally mislead customers, falsify financial statements, or engage in other personal wrongdoing. Piercing the corporate veil when protection fails. One of the most misunderstood concepts about LLCs is piercing the corporate veil. This legal term refers to situations where a court decides to ignore the LLC's separate existence and hold its owners personally liable. The whole point of forming an LLC is to avoid this, so how does this happen? Courts generally pierce the veil when they find that the LLC is an alter ego of its owners. In plain language, that means the owners treat the company like an extension of themselves rather than a separate entity. So when courts pierce the veil, they may hold owners personally responsible for the company's debts or judgments. This is rare, but always tied to specific misconduct. The best way to avoid it is to treat your LLC as a real business with its own bank account, records, and identity. Don't pay personal bills from the business account and vice versa. Keep minutes of important meetings. Deposit capital into the company when needed. Use your company name on contracts and sign documents on behalf of the company. For example, Jane Doe, manager, Sweet Treats LLC, rather than just signing your own name. Exceptions to limited liability. So in addition to veil piercing, there are specific circumstances where an LLC doesn't shield your assets. Knowing these exceptions will help you plan better and avoid unintentional exposure. Personal guarantees. Lenders and landlords often ask small business owners to personally guarantee loans, credit lines, or leases. If you sign a personal guarantee, you agree that if the company doesn't pay, you will. This negates the liability protection for that specific obligation. Think carefully before agreeing to these terms. You might negotiate lower guarantee amounts, limit the guarantee in time, or provide collateral instead. If your business is new, some personal guarantee is almost inevitable. The key is to understand that you're on the hook if things go south. Unpaid payroll, taxes, and other trust fund taxes. The government doesn't let owners hide behind an LLC when it comes to taxes withheld from employees. If your company collects payroll taxes on sales taxes on behalf of the government but fails to remit them, you can be personally liable. Tax authorities consider these trust fund taxes. You're holding someone else's money, so failing to pay is more like theft than a simple debt. Similarly, if you personally fail to deposit required taxes or commit tax evasion, the LLC structure won't protect you. Professional malpractice and negligence. If you hold a professional license like an accountant, doctor, architect, lawyer, and you personally commit malpractice, an LLC won't shield you from responsibility. Same goes for negligent acts. You can't injure someone through carelessness and claim the company did it. The company might also be liable, but so will you. This is why many licensed professionals form professional LLCs or PLLCs and carry professional liability insurance. The company can help with some claims, but insurance is the real safety net. Building and maintaining your liability shield. Limited liability isn't something that you get once and forget. It's a shield that you have to build and maintain. So let's talk about practical steps to keep the shield strong. Number one is form the LLC properly. It starts with filing the right paperwork with your state and paying the necessary fees. You'll need to choose a unique business name, designate a registered agent, and submit articles or a certificate of organization. Without these formal steps, there's no LLC, just you doing business as yourself. After forming the company, create an operating agreement. This document outlines who owns the company, how it's managed, and how profits and losses are shared. Even if your state doesn't require one for a single member LLC, having an operating agreement shows you're serious about treating the business as a separate entity. So to get started with an LLC, we really recommend LegalZoom. It's super easy to get started. We've got a link for you down in the description, which will bring you to this page right here. All you gotta do is click on Start My Business, Start My LLC, and then just fill out the forms. We'll go through them really quickly here together. So first, you got to put in your business name, choose where you'll be located, and choose a plan. You can go ahead and pause the screen now and look at the differences between these plans. But for this example, I'm going to go with the basic plan and show you how you can get some of this stuff for a lot cheaper than $249. So we'll go ahead and skip that. We'll go ahead and say what our industry does. We'll click next. We'll select our plan. And this is where you can go ahead and get an operating agreement or an operating agreement in an EIN or the operating agreement, EIN, plus the forms and e-sign, all for less than that middle tier plan there. So let's go ahead and select this one. It's going to ask you to get started with a business bank account, which you can do or do that separately. I'll skip this stuff here. And there you go. That's how easy it is to go ahead and get started with LegalZoom. Seriously, it literally couldn't be easier. Number two, separate your finances. Open a dedicated business bank account and use it exclusively for company transactions. Pay yourself a distribution or salary from the company and then use your personal account for personal expenses. This separation isn't just good practice. It's evidence that the company and its owners are distinct. Keep receipts and records of all business transactions. Use business credit cards for business purchases and personal credit cards for personal. This discipline makes it easier to track expenses and prepare accurate financial statements. Number three, maintain adequate capital and insurance. Make sure your LLC has enough funds to cover foreseeable liabilities. If you run a high-risk business, invest more capital to secure insurance to handle potential claims. Speaking of insurance, commercial general liability insurance can cover things things that your LLC's assets can't. Medical bills for injured customers, property damage, or legal defense costs. Professional liability insurance and product liability insurance are important add-ons if you offer services or products. Insurance doesn't replace limited liability, but it complements it. 4, follow business formalities. Hold regular meetings if you have multiple members and document major decisions. Keep up with state requirements like annual reports or franchise taxes. Your state might charge an annual fee or require a report to keep your LLC in good standing. Missing those deadlines can dissolve your company administratively, erasing your liability shield. Always sign contracts on behalf of the company. Use titles like manager, member, or owner when signing. Be consistent in how you refer to yourself and your company on paperwork. 5, understand and limit personal guarantees. So before signing a personal guarantee, consider negotiating terms. Sometimes you can secure a loan by pledging specific collateral from the business instead of your personal assets. If you must guarantee a loan, try to limit it to a portion of the debt or to certain conditions. Make sure to read and understand the guarantee language. Some agreements create ongoing guarantees for future transactions, so always ask if the guarantee is a one-time promise or a continuing obligation. Consider additional asset protection tools. If you own significant personal assets, you might use additional strategies like asset protection trusts or placing property into separate legal entities. Retirement accounts often have some protection from creditors, so contributing to retirement plans can be a smart way to build a protected nest egg. These strategies require more planning and legal advice, but can provide extra security beyond the LLC structure. Forming an LLC is one of the most straightforward ways to shield your personal life from the ups and downs of running a business. It draws a line between your personal assets and your company's obligation, allowing you to pursue your entrepreneurial dreams without risking everything you own. But that shield isn't automatic or absolute. You have to build and maintain it by treating your company as a separate entity, keeping finances separate, following state requirements, and avoiding personal guarantees when possible. You also need to remember that the law won't protect you from your own negligence or wrongdoing. So keep all this in mind, and if you want to get started with setting up your LLC or holding company, you'll find the links to do so down in the description below. Now, these are affiliate links, which means we do earn a small commission when you use them at no extra cost to you. And these commissions really help support the channel and allow us to continue to create free content just like this. So if you end up using it, we thank you so much in advance. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Here on the LLC Deals channel, we cover everything you need to know about forming, managing, and scaling your LLC or holding company. Plus, we go over smart tax strategies and business tips to help you grow. So be sure and subscribe. But other than that, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you here in the next video.